and welcome to the ETC EOS and Capture programming tutorial. You should have downloaded all of the files from Nexus, which will give you all of the paperwork created in Lightwrite that will be needed. There is a Capture presentation file and an ETC EOS programming tutorial base file. There are links that I've shared so that you can download the ETC EOS software, go through the one that pertains to you, either Mac or PC, and go ahead and just go through your usual installation process. Once you've got all of those files downloaded and in a place where you can find them, go ahead and open your Capture file, your Capture presentation file, and you'll get something that looks like this. It'll basically be a black screen with some green icons in the lower right hand corner. That is absolutely correct. Essentially, this is representing a theater in which no lights are turned on, so it's completely dark. We can just leave that open in the background. Then navigate to your applications and find your ETC family welcome screen and open that up. And when it opens, you will get a screen that looks like this. In terms of selecting your console mode, we want to select EOS. This is what's referred to as the shell, and the very first time that you come in, you'll need to go into Settings. Once in Settings, full screen ETC Nomad will probably be selected. Deselect that so there's no check mark there. This means that you can change the size of the window on the screen, and it makes it a lot easier to work with if you're only on one monitor. Once that's deselected, you can hit Accept. Again, you only have to do that the first time. And once it's all set, we want to go into Offline with Viz. You will probably get a splash screen that looks like this. Just click OK. And ETC EOS will open. There we go. If this section at the bottom is not open for you, go ahead and click on this triangle to open it up. This area is what we refer to as the CIA, or Central Information Area. There's a file tree that works like a regular Windows file tree, and there's also gets used to input various types of information from time to time. Once you're in here, navigate through to the file tree to where you have the show file saved, and we want the Fundamentals of Lighting Programming Tutorial Base. So I'll double click on that, and we get this screen. All of these items here should be selected. That's perfectly fine, and click OK. And you probably saw just real briefly there, we got a little green success. It means the show file imported correctly. Go ahead and click that triangle again to close the CIA. That just gives us more screen real estate to work with. Down at the bottom, there are a series of tabs. They look kind of like Excel tabs, and they work much the same way. They're just essentially different screens or different modes that you can go into for programming. So you should have one that's listed as Patch. Go ahead and click that. And then it'll bring up this screen. This is our patch screen where we can tell EOS what channels are controlling which addresses. So you can see on the left-hand side, there is the list of channel numbers in the first column, then the addresses, then the type of fixture, and so on. We're not going to worry about the other information right now. Since we are in channel mode, what we'll do is tell EOS to select a channel, and then we will tell it what addresses we want to be controlled by that channel. For example, in my paperwork, I can see that channel 1, so I'm just going to press the number 1, and that'll appear down here on my command line. Then I'm going to hit the letter A, which is the shortcut for @ and EOS will automatically populate address because it knows that channel 1 is accepting the next address that I give it. Keep in mind that our addresses should always be referenced as universe and then number, just to keep that organization clear. And since this is going to be address 13, I'm going to tell it 1/13, enter. And you can see here that channel 1 is now in address 1/13, and it is a dimmer. That's all correct. If you click in this upper right-hand corner, this keyboard icon, you'll get a virtual keyboard of what the Lightboard looks like. From here, we're going to click on Live to go back into our live table, and you can see that my channel number 1 is now no longer grayed out. EOS knows that it has an address associated with it and is ready to be used. So from here, I'm going to type the number 1, the letter F for full, enter, and you can see that channel 1 is now at full on EOS. If I navigate back to capture, you can see that channel 1 is now turned on in my theater. Going back to EOS and going back into patch. From here you can continue on patching the show based on the paperwork that you've been given. However, when you get to channels 141 through 152, we're going to have to do something a little bit different. We need to tell EOS what specific type of fixture those are going to be. So I'm going to type in 141, the letter T for through, 152, enter, and you'll see that all of those channels have been selected. Currently, they are all listed as dimmers because that is the EOS default, but we know that these channels are actually going to be something else. So down in the lower right-hand corner, I have a box here that says Type. I'm going to click in that box, and I'm going to click the button that says Search down at the bottom, which will bring up this search field. And I'm going to type in ETC D60. And here are all of my options for ETC D60s. We're going to be using D60 Luster Plus, so I'm going to click this little caret, and here are all of the options for that specific fixture. We're going to want D60 Luster Plus Direct Strobe, which takes up 9 addresses. So I'm just going to double click on that. And now we can see that channels 141 through 152 have that specific fixture type. Keep in mind that the D60s are all in Universe 2. So to patch that, I'm going to say 141 at 2/1, enter. And you can see that EOS has populated that information, knowing that it takes addresses 1 through 9 in the second universe to control that fixture. The other fixtures that are going to be different are our cyc lights. Those are going to be channels 201 through 210, plus 221 through 230. Again, hitting enter. Now we can see we've selected those channels. Again, they're in the default of dimmer. I'm going to click on type again. And this time I'm going to type in chroma, CHROMA-Q, color force. And here are all of my color force options. Our specific fixtures are going to be color force 248. So I'm going to click this to open it. And here are all the various options and modes that those fixtures can go in. There's quite a few of them. We don't really need to worry about all of them. We're going to be looking for color force 248 RGBA times 2 on top, which takes 38 addresses. So again, I'm going to double click that, and that information will be populated up here. Keep in mind that the top row of the cyc lights is in Universe 3, and the bottom row of the cyc lights is in Universe 4. So now, using your paperwork, you should be able to go through and complete the patch of the base file. Once you've completed your patch, click on your virtual keyboard to go back out to live, or click the Live Table tab. There we go. I'm going to open my CIA again, and this time I'm going to say Save As. Double click on the show file archive and save it as Programming Tutorial and your initials. So for example, mine would be Programming Tutorial TCR. That concludes part 1 of making the show is installed and patched correctly. and I will see you back again for part 2.